Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And today we're going to talk about money. You know, the great big green thing that helps people, survive and be able to live and, exist in our world. Well, that's going away. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's going away because they decided to give us more money. More money seems great and all, right? Except if it's, being printed and devaluing our dollar and therefore increasing the actual inflation. So, there's also that's happening. So, we go to here that says, money's in the air. The 5 stimulus checks and direct payments worth up to $1,700 going out to millions of Americans in July. That's next month, guys, if you really want to know. Millions of Americans can expect to see paper checks in their mailboxes next month. Most of the payments will be in the form of tax rebates, which aim to offset high inflation that's negatively impacting Americans from food to gas. Here's the key words here, ladies and gentlemen. Which aim to offset high inflation that's negatively impacting Americans, from food to gas. Now, here's the thing that they're trying to trick you with because the sun is a bunch of idiots, but here's the thing that is the really key point here. They say it's going to offset high inflation, right? But in reality, all it's going to do is that it's going to make the high inflation more high. It's not going to decrease. It's just going to increase. So whatever inflation that you have now that's high, that inflation is going to become even more high with this type of spending. Which again goes to negatively impact Americans from food to gas, which means the food is going to rise in price again, and then the gas is going to rise in price again. So when they try to say that it's aimed to offset high inflation, or try to trick you into these ways to saying like, oh well, this is to combat it, they're lying. Because it's not going to offset it. It's just going to make it worse. The others act as stimulus checks which are given to those who have suffered financial hardship from the pandemic. It's not really just the pandemic. I mean, listen, I understand that people were in rough times and they probably needed money or whatever. However, here's the thing that needs to happen. And this is the harsh reality. If you don't give stimulus checks to anybody during those hard times at all, you know what's going to really make people turn more fucking red than anything else? When hardship actually hits the fan, when reality comes to you, and guess what? You get no money, you get no bailout, you get nothing, and you have to suffer through whatever you're going through. Now, some people are going to be like, okay, well, that's a bit too much. Like, okay, I get it. But again, it means that you cannot rely on the fucking government but yourself for your own troubles that would happen. It means people would not have to rely on this so-called government that we have that would help you, right? You are on your own and you have to help yourself. I don't agree with stimulus checks, because guess what happens? Yeah, sure, you got out of that rough spot now, but now you're having an even more longer-term problem now than you would be having that short-term problem then. This would also mean that you would be completely against pandemics or having your country being closed down because you know the actual repercussions of when your country's being closed down during a pandemic on what it would do to you. So therefore, you would not want a pandemic and you would not want your country to be closed down because why? Because it would negatively, horribly impact you. But I digress. Regardless, these will be one-time payments. See the states and cities sending out money in July. Oh, yes, one-time payments, which makes everybody worse. Chicago, Illinois, up to $550. Eligible Chicago, Illinois residents can apply each month for transit and gas care funds. To apply, you must be a Chicago resident, at least 18 years old, and have a vehicle. Wow, what is wrong with me? Okay, what's with the messing up words? And today, Jesus, and have a current and valid sticker with the correct mailing information for your vehicle. Also, your income must be at or below 100% of the area median income for Chicago. This is $93,200 for a household of 4. Each month until September, there will be a lottery held on the second week of the month. The deadline to apply for the next lottery is Friday, July 1st. Those selected will be notified via email. Chicago will issue up to 50,000 prepaid gas cards of $150 to 100,000 prepaid transit cards of $50 under the program. Cards will be distributed each month. You can apply online at any Chicago public library location or by sending letter via email. Indiana, up to 250. Millions in the state of Indiana have started to receive their rebate payments in May. The refunds are worth $125 per individual and $250 for married couples. Approximately 4.3 million Hoosiers will receive the $125 payment, about 85% of the state's adult population. Direct deposits will be continued to go out through the summer, while residents who opted for a paper check can expect those to arrive in July or August. Any taxpayer who filed their 2020 taxes before January 3rd, 2022 qualifies for the cash. Additionally, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb has proposed to send more money back to taxpayers. If approved, each eligible Indiana resident would get a combined total of 350 payments, according to the governor's office. Married couples filing jointly would receive roughly 700. Iowa, 1,400. Thousands of low and moderate income residents in Johnson County, Iowa, have applied for a one-time stimulus check of $1,400 under the Direct Assistance Program, reports the Press Citizen. To qualify, you must meet a few pieces of criteria. This includes suffering from food or housing insecurity, job loss, or previously being excluded from federal stimulus payments. You may also qualify. You're eligible for a federal program like Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or Supplemental Security Income. As far as income goes, it must be $45,000 or below for a household of 1, $51,000. $870 for a household of 2, and $64,000 for a household or person. Between 2,300 and 2,400 residents are set to get 1,400 stimulus payments, which are set to each recipient in late June or July, according to the county's board of supervisors. The city stopped accepting applications on May 27th. Maine, up to 1,700 this month. Maine has been sending out rebate checks worth $850 per individual and $1,700 for the average family. Just about every week in June, it has mailed up to 200,000 rebate checks. That would mean most payments would be issued by the end of this month. To qualify for a rebate check, you must meet a few requirements as far as income goes. An individual must not exceed $100,000, while heads of the household and couples can make up to $150,000 and $200,000 respectively. These will be based on 2021 tax returns, which must be filed by October 31st. Governor Janet Mills' office said that those who have filed 2021 state taxes can expect their money to arrive by mid-July. Oregon, 600. Oregon this week is sending out 600 stimulus checks to more than 236 residents. The payments are going out to low-income workers who worked during the pandemic. To be eligible, you need to qualify for and claim the earned income tax credit on your 2020 tax return. The deadline to file was December 31st, 2021, or April 15th for an amended return, according to the Department of Revenue. In 2020, singles or heads of the household with no children adjusted gross income AGI must have not exceeded for the LLC. This figure was 21% for married couples, according to if you have children, here are the income limits. Singles with one child, 41. Married couples with one child, 47. Single with 2 children, 47. Married couples with 2 children, 53. Singles with 3 children, 50. And married with 3 children, 56. Additionally, you must have lived in Oregon for the past 6 months to be eligible for as payment. All right. So say hello to inflation, everybody, because yeah, that's not good. So we have a few places here that is doing these type of things. Now, granted, some of these places are, I would probably say, a lot of them seem to be Republican Party states, which is a huge problem. They should really not be giving money to people because, again, this is just going to increase the amount of actual inflation and all that. So really what we have here, which I'll show you guys exactly what's going on. Oregon, obviously, is a Democratic Party, and then you have Maine, which is another Democratic Party, and then you have Iowa, which is a Republican Party. Then you have Indiana, which is another Republican Party state. So 2 Republican parties, 2 Democratic parties. I may believe as well that we will have California being specifically going to be for as one of the states as well. So that's another blue state here that is giving off a stimulus check. So we have here as well. I will not exactly do the full thing here, but I won't do this full article. But 23 million Californians get up to 1050 into inflation relief checks, which is also another thing that's going to be happening. So, and again, this is a blue state. So I always say it's kind of a mixed bag right now, where a lot of people are where both Democratic and Republican states are getting these things, but it's just going to increase in the inflation. So I digress. It's a huge problem. So we'll see where this gets us, guys. Hopefully you're preparing for the worst. So that's it. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.